Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Atlanta News First Alert Meteorologist Patrick Pete here with your evening weather update. And if you've been out and about today, it depends on where you were. Most of us saw some showers this morning, and then a lot of dry time for the bulk of the afternoon. And as of later in the day, roughly 3, 4 o'clock, we started seeing more of those showers and storms firing up. They've been pretty isolated to mainly areas north of I-20, but that is gradually shifting a little bit. There's some cells firing up to our south. Some folks in places like Jasper, Putnam counties could see some rain start to move in over the course of the next few minutes. I want to take you to the First Alert radar view right now, and you can see those scattered showers continue to be a thing that we are tracking at the 8 o'clock hour, mainly north of the city. Light rain right now moving through Fannin and Gilmer counties. That's stretching down towards Gordon County, Cherokee, Bartow County getting in on some of that light rain. And it's getting a little bit heavier whenever you look at Haralson County, Polk County, down towards Carroll County as well. Not a lot of lightning embedded in this part of the system, but there are some lightning strikes in this little cell that is moving through Chattooga County. So this is north of Lyerly, west of Somerville. That's where we're seeing a nice little hefty thunderstorm produce some gusty winds, 30, 40 miles per hour gusts, and some pea-sized hail possible. Now, with it being so warm outside, the hail's pretty much melting before it makes its way to the ground. Nonetheless, if it comes out and it's pea-size, don't be too surprised. But this is not warned. This is not a severe storm, but something that we'll watch, as this is the most energetic part of the system at this hour. Our First Alert weather day continues into the evening, although a lot of us are dealing with dry conditions. It's a little sticky out there, but all in all, not a bad night if you are dry. We'll keep that rain chance going through the overnight, but it's going to become more isolated. And I do think that a lot of folks are going to make their way in from a lot of their late night festivities at 2 to 3 o'clock under mostly cloudy but dry conditions. We do have a First Alert weather day for tomorrow, and that's continuing into Sunday and Monday. That means that we have the chance for some rain and some thunderstorms to impact some of your outdoor plans. I want to make sure that everyone knows that this is not going to be an all-day affair. This is not going to be a continuous, messy day. There's actually going to be periods in the weekend where we get some sun rays breaking through the clouds. Essentially, what we're tracking is short waves that are going to be pulsing through the area. Looks like they're timing up with the heating of the day, which means that we're expecting the most scattered storms to start to fire up in the afternoon. That's been our thinking for a couple of days now, and that continues to be the case as we head into the weekend. So I want to walk you through the weekend so that we can kind of try to plan this out, because nobody wants to be inside all weekend, and I don't think you really have to. Here's a look at the 7, 8 o'clock hour tomorrow morning. I do expect for there to be some showers out there. This is going to be showers. This is going to be rain, okay? This is not going to be anything to make you cancel kids going to soccer practice, basketball, little dribblers, or whatever you kids are doing early in the morning. I think we're okay. You'll just have to run into some slick spots. As we head closer to 12 o'clock, it does look like the bulk of us will trend drier. We'll get a bit of a break. We'll get some breaks in the clouds. Temperatures will be in the low to mid-70s. But it does appear that as we get closer to roughly 5, 6 o'clock, that things start to bubble back up a little bit. So scattered showers and storms will start to be something that we're tracking live on First Alert Radar during that 6 o'clock newscast tomorrow evening. Eventually, that system will push to the east, and we'll start to see our rain chances drop as we head through the overnight hours. And I do think that that overnight period between roughly 10, 11 o'clock Saturday night through about 8, 9 o'clock Sunday morning is relatively dry for most of North Georgia. Temperatures are going to fall into the low to mid-60s, so another very mild overnight period in the cards for us. But then once we head into Sunday afternoon, once again, the heating of the day is going to combine with this wave of energy that's going to be moving in from the west, and we do think we're going to get more of these scattered storms starting to fire up. Heavy downpours, some lightning, and some gusty winds. Right now, the thinking is that the severe potential just isn't there with this setup. So when I say thunderstorms, I mean thunder, lightning, heavy rain, and gusty winds. So something that we'll be tracking, unfortunately, Sunday afternoon when folks are looking to be out and about, Sunday fun daying, because I've made it a verb. So we'll be tracking that here, of course, First Alert Weather Center throughout the afternoon and evening. As we head towards Sunday night, it does appear that things start to wane down again. The pulse moves on out to the east, plus we lose the heating of the day. Those two things timing up is good for us because that does give us breaks in this precip. So we think we'll dry out through the overnight, and unfortunately we think we'll pulse up again on Monday afternoon. Some of the models that I've been looking at today has been dialing back on the amount of pulsing on Monday, but we still think there's going to be enough that there could be some impacts. And until we get consistency with runs, we don't just kind of like jump from model to model. So something we're watching, of course, and trying to fine tune. Also watching these dew points because with this southerly flow and these warm temperatures, the potential for it to get a little steamy out there is definitely something we're watching. It looks pretty manageable. We're going to be borderline sticky and humid for the bulk of this 7-day period, but as we head closer to Wednesday and Thursday, looks like those dew points do creep up into the upper 60s at some point, which means that we could be humid. We can feel it. So something we're watching as we head into the middle of next week, but it's the weekend and we're just, dialed into that for you right now. Here's a look ahead at the system that we're trying to time out for next week. Thursday, Friday. This is day 7 essentially that we're looking at. So some shifts in the timeline here may change. It probably will. But right now it does look like we'll get a system that moves in sometime late Thursday evening into Friday morning. And it looks like there's going to be enough rain and thunder on both sides of those days that we'll probably first alert the second half of Thursday and the first part of Friday. But for now, we're just first alerting both of them for you. We'll fine-tune that timing for you, but you can see that system pulses through the area, and we're dealing with some of that rain still early on a Friday morning. So all of these rain opportunities admittedly leads to a very messy looking 7-day forecast. I'm not even going to hold you. Matter of fact, I'm going to switch the screen just a little bit so that you can see the 7-day a little bit fuller and a little bit less of Patrick, because there's a lot here to absorb. And I want to make sure that we spend our time talking about this weekend forecast, but also looking ahead to next week. The first thing that jumps out is something that you don't see every day. There are rain chances for the next 7 days. Some days are going to be a little bit more widespread than others. We do think tomorrow is going to be one of those more widespread days, and then they become more scattered as we head towards Sunday, Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, there's some showers around. Right now, the models are keeping the bulk of that moisture in the mountains, but some of our northernmost metro counties could see some spotty showers. So that's why we're calling it a 20% chance. Where those showers don't fire up, you're going to get warm. We're talking upper 80s. Not going to be surprised if a couple of communities actually hit that 90-degree mark as we head into the middle to end of next week. So really watching that very closely. But also something else that sticks out is there are 5 first alert weather days. And you guys know that our first alerts are our way of telling you this is something that we're watching, right? Our first alert weather days, they could be for 4 hours, it could be for 6 hours, it could be for 2 hours. We first alert for dense fog in the morning because we need you to know that you're going to be running into some dense fog and you can't drive. I was going to say a country saying, but I'm not going to do that. But you can't just be racing down the street when there's, visibility reduced to 1/10 of a mile. People get in car accidents and, cars are dangerous. They're great. They're amazing. They get us where we need to be, but, they're also dangerous, and we don't want anybody losing their life. So our first alert is a way to just say, hey, even if it's just for 2 hours, you need to be focused on this for your own safety and for the safety of everybody else around you. And the next couple of days, this is more so impact first alerts, pop-up showers, pop-up storms. There's shaky knees going on. There's Cinco de Mayo celebrations that are going on. There's all kind of stuff that's outdoors this weekend. And I'm not telling you not to do it because trust and believe. Yours truly will be in the streets this weekend. But I will have my first alert weather app handy. I'll be watching to see where those storms are. And whenever it says, Patrick, lightning is 11.1 miles away, that's when I'm going to go ahead and find my way into somebody's indoor section for a couple of hours, or at least for a couple of minutes until the storm passes. So that's what we're doing here. No day is a washout. It's just going to be real hit or miss, especially as these pulses come through. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Find that dry time to get out and about. Tuesday and Wednesday are the days that if you're looking to get some stuff done in the yard, those are going to be your best options to do it. I'd probably say Wednesday. Give Tuesday a day for, the yards to dry up. It's not like they're going to be overwhelmed, but that day of drying helps out if you're looking to cut grass and all that kind of good stuff. Those are going to be the days where the rain is just so isolated that you have a better chance of staying dry than you do of getting wet, if that makes any sense, because the instability is going to be north of the city. And then once again, Thursday and Friday, it looks like this is a late day Thursday into Friday morning event. But part of the reason you guys come here so that you can see the updates when we get them. And with Thursday being 6-7 days away, that's something that we're going to fine tune over the course of the next week. So I always said that I'm going to keep you for a good time, not a long time. And it's Friday, so I'm really going to stick to that. I don't see any comments or questions in the chat, which is great on YouTube. So I'm just going to wish you all a happy weekend. To our viewers that are joining us on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, all of those other streaming platforms that are on your TV. Thank you for joining us this evening. And then, of course, to everyone that's in the YouTube chat, thank you so much for your energy. Although y'all are quiet tonight, I'm going to let it ride because it's Friday and I get it. But me and meteorologist Fred Campagna, we're going to have an updated forecast for you tonight on Peachtree TV at 10. Going to go through some new data, get some new information on this timing of these pulses tomorrow because they're going to be interesting. And Fred's going to have a last look at that for you guys tonight on Atlanta News First at 11. So I'll give you one more final look at the 7-day forecast. Take my name down because you already know it. And I'll see you guys on the airwaves in about an hour and a half. Happy weekend.